Hey there folks, Comics Gatekeeper here, and today I'm reviewing Onslaught Book 1. It's X-Men. It says it's the complete epic on the cover, but what it means is it's taken in all the little side quests. Yes. I will be reviewing the next volume of The Boys at some point, and my final thoughts on the 5th season of The Expanse. But for now, it's X-Men. So yeah, we start off with Jean Grey going shopping and what it's like to be in her life. So people say things to her like the time or what's your dress size, and they're actually like jealous of how she looks or want to fuck her. So yeah, the day in the life of someone who can read your mind. Then Onslaught appears and he tries to recruit her. He doesn't try to kill her, he tries to recruit her. He tries to show her all the secrets, thoughts that people have, even Professor X. She, of course, rejects that completely. Let's see. Oh, Juggernaut. Juggernaut knows who Professor X actually is, but a mental block has been placed in his head so that he can't actually tell people. Yeah, Juggernaut shows up at the X Mansion to try and get them to help him with the block. And Bishop and Gambit are there. There's quite a good panel, actually. They're out on a boat. They're looking, because apparently somebody's tripped a sensor. And when they look down in the water, they see Juggernaut's face just about to come out of the water. It's quite disturbing. Yeah, let's see. Wolverine is still dealing with issues from having had his adamantium skeleton ripped away by Magneto. Beast is Dark Beast, and a refugee from the Age of Apocalypse universe. And no one's detected that he's not the real fella yet. Bastion shows up at Graydon Creed's election campaign, and it's made very clear that Bastion is really in charge. Why is it every single time I record one of these videos, my pad decides to beep 100 fucking times? At no other time. Yeah, all my emails will come now. Anyway, Jean takes in Juggernaut and finds out there's a psi vault that can keep out all psychic activity, all completely. It's even suggested it's where Professor X may have hidden during that time he faked his own death in the early X-Men run. So yeah, they go into the vault to try and find out who is Onslaught. God damn, I miss these outfits. I used to watch X-Men cartoons when I was a kid. These are the classic outfits as far as I'm concerned. It's always weird when you see Cyclops and he's got like the full cowl on. You can't see his brown hair. It's strange. So yeah, Jean's in Juggernaut's mind, trying to break down the barriers that keep the dark secret. But it's actually Professor X. And then Onslaught appears and rips the gem of Cytorak out of his heart. What a cunt. Meanwhile, we skip to the Fantastic Four. Franklin Richards, one of the children of the Fantastic Four. He's got the ability to reorganise reality. He gets an imaginary friend. Someone who looks suspiciously like Charles Xavier, but as a child. Of course, it's Onslaught trying to push his powers so he can use them later on. And then Nate Gray shows up, the X-Man, in his solo comic, which I happen to have a copy of. I think there might be actually a review from about 2 years ago that I did. Yeah, he tries to read Charles Xavier's mind. Onslaught's already in there at that point, and he nearly kills him. So he crashes on a beach and ends up accidentally having a fight with Rogue. And then the Executioner shows up. So yeah, X-Man knows that Charles Xavier is evil. The X-Men show up. Charles Xavier's still being a prick. Jean is trying to scan him to get some evidence of what's going on. Is Onslaught controlling him? Is Onslaught created by him? And then he pops up, saying, I knew you were trying to probe me. I was just humouring you. Ha 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 ha. I have the powers of a god. He reduces Wolverine to the state of a frightened child. He makes Iceman's powers go out of control so that he becomes a raving ice beast, and he makes Storm think that she's still trapped inside the collapsed building, crying for her mummy and her daddy. Wow, he's a pleasant fellow. So yeah, now they're discussing how to take out the Professor, or whether or not they should take out the Professor. Nate Gray shows up to warn the Avengers about Charles Xavier. They don't really believe him. Wow, Thor looks really strange in this one. He just doesn't have a top at all. He just looks like a surfer. It's really odd. I mean, granted, the helmet he wears is fucking ridiculous, and always has been. But yeah, this is the low effort version. They could have at least given him a top. Beast pledges his allegiance to Onslaught because obviously he's from the Age of Apocalypse universe. And yeah, it feels like a lot of going around in circles, to be honest. At the Sentinel headquarters, the Sentinels come online and start saying the word Onslaught, which is not good. Apocalypse knows what's going to happen, doesn't care. The Avengers go off on a side quest because they think that since Onslaught looks like Magneto, that Magneto might be responsible for Charles Xavier's current. They find Magneto, but he's been de-aged and he's lost all his memories, and he's calling himself Joseph. Rogue is with him, and she's not too inclined to tell him about his true nature. Unfortunately, the Avengers, being the dumbasses that they are, simply just attack as soon as they see him. They don't ask, hey, you responsible, or any of that shit. They just go for him. Joseph, inverted commas, being one of the most powerful mutants on the planet, fights back hard. Wanda and Pietro talk about what it was like growing up with Magneto as a father, being raised in the Brotherhood of Mutants, and it's not fun. The Avengers show up at the Fantastic Four headquarters. They throw everything they have at Onslaught, and Professor Charles Xavier comes out of the middle, like he was trapped inside. But of course, it was a fake out, and he attacks them again. Oh yeah, Bruce Banner is bamboozled, confuzzled by Onslaught's psychic power, and he's sent to kill Cable. Cable is potentially one of the greatest psychics on the planet, so might be a threat to his plans. Most of Cable's telekinetic powers are used to keep him alive, to keep the virus from spreading and killing him. So that's why he usually used big guns and stuff from the future most of the time. So yeah, it's not about battle. Yeah, Storm shows up, restarts Cable's heart after he takes a pounding, and then they team up to get the Hulk. The weird thing I've noticed about Storm, and I can't believe I never really noticed this, she's a fucking bitch. She's kind of like, what's the word? I don't know quite how to describe it. She's like a little rich girl. She thinks everyone should do as she says, and she has the commanding voice is really kind of annoying in the comics. She just kind of oozes arrogance. Yeah, I can't believe I never noticed that before. I still like Storm, obviously, but you know, yeah, it's just a little revelation I've had that sometimes she's portrayed as a bossy bitch, basically. Have they managed to get through to Banner yet? Yeah, Cable goes into the Hulk's head, fights him on a psychic plane, smashes a giant rock, and finally meets Dr. Banner. In the real world, the fight suddenly stops. But yeah, this is more the preamble than the actual book. It sets it up nicely, and there's, unlike modern comics, there's lots of nice battles and lots of discussions about whether or not they can legitimately kill Charles Xavier, whether or not he's being controlled by it, or whether or not he is Onslaught. It's yeah, it's good, and it makes me want to buy the next one, which is, of course, positive. I'm trying to think, what was I doing in 1996? Oh, I was going to university. Yes, I just started university, and I was going to have a big career in biomedical science. Wow, that was a while ago. Yes, so I don't know if I'm going to get all the filler comics that go along with the book. I just kind of want the main story right now. Then maybe I'll expand later. I did make the mistake of buying almost every single Civil War comic many years ago, and some of them are utterly pointless. I think I even had the Heroes for Hire tie-in to Civil War at one point. God damn. Yeah, actually I made that mistake twice. I got Cataclysm and every single No Man's Land comic going. I think I had about 6 or 7 giant volumes, and I never liked the central premise of No Man's Land. There's somehow a gigantic earthquake in Gotham, even though it's on the East Coast where major earthquakes don't tend to happen. I probably should have had some psychic, some super person do it, like they did with the destruction of Coast City. That would have been more believable. An alien falling from the sky and devastating Gotham would have been more believable than somehow an earthquake happens in a New York type city. Oh yeah, comic update. As I said, we're still in the process of colouring. We are in the last part, and the pages keep coming in, and they're suitably gorgeous. There's a really brilliant page that I won't show you because I don't want to spoil the book for you entirely, involving lots and lots of vomit, and it's got some absolutely gorgeous colours and textures involved. It truly is like a rainbow yawn of doom. Okay folks, take care, later.